this is Mr. Malay, and this is your video review for your geography quiz over Eastern Asia, which will be taking place next Tuesday. This is the biggest quiz, I should say test, of the year. It will be worth over 100 points, so there's a lot of terms to learn. You should get started studying right away. Terms you need to know are dynasty, mandate of heaven. Mandate of heaven is where the gods took away the dynasty willingness to rule. You know who the Mongols are. You know about the Qing dynasty, which is a group of people who came in and conquered. The Qing dynasty was the last dynasty in Chinese history. My bad. You know the Mongols were the people who conquered and ruled China. You know about the Boxer Rebellion, which was when several missionaries and merchants in China were killed to stop the opium trade. You know about the rape of Nanking, which was the brutal takeover of the Chinese city of Nanking by the Japanese right before World War II. You know who Mao Zedong is, and he was the communist leader of China for a very long time. You need to know that Taiwan was where the leaders fled from communists. The communist takeover of China left the people who were in charge running away. They ran away to Taiwan. You need to know that the Great Wall of China was built to keep out Mongols. You need to know what Taoism is, even though it's spelled Taoism. And you know it was invented by Lao Tzu. It means the way. You know that Buddhism is the religion where one seeks the middle path that was taught by Siddhartha Gautama, as the Buddha. You know what the lunar calendar is, which means you go off the moon. You need to know about the importance of Spirit Festival in China and what they do. You know that the Communist Party controls everything that is done in China, and you have to be a member to run for office. You need to know about Chinese New Year's, what part of celebration that is. You need to know about Kung Fu. You need to know the horses, that they are a sacred animal to the Mongolians and important to their lifestyle. And you need to know that in Mongolia, many people herd and ride reindeer. You need to know the Yamato clan was the first emperors to unite Japan. You need to know that a shogun was a general. You need to know what the feudal system was in Japan, where the emperor loans all the land and lets other people use it in return for crops and guards. You need to know that what sake is, rice wine. You know what samurai's literal definition is, one who guards. You need to know what Bushido is, which is the way of the warrior, and it's the samurai code. You need to know who Fat Man and Little Boy were. Alright, that is the names of the atomic bombs. You know what cities we dropped atomic bombs on. You need to know what date Pearl Harbor was bombed. That's December 7th, 1941. You know what Kami, which is a spirit of everything, has. You need to know that the sun god is who the Yamato tribe claims to be descended from. You need to know what Mount Fuji is and why it's important to Japan. You need to know what bicameral means. Obon, which is the most important of the Shinto religion, most important holiday of the Shinto religion. You know what sushi is, Kobe beef, and you know what kabuki and sumo wrestling are. You need to know about the Boxer Rebellion that was caused by people trying to trade opium for tea. You need to know about the Communist Rebellion in China. You need to know about the Great Wall of China that was built to keep out the Mongols and the Manchus. You need to know what Shinto is and how it works in Japan and what kind of religion it is. You need to know what people in Japan dress like, mostly Western, traditional footwear. You know about Kabuki theater, what it's like. You know who Genghis Khan is. You need to know that his real name is Temujin. You know what shamanism is, which is the religion traditional to Mongolia. You need to know what it means to be nomadic. You need to know what a yurt is, which is a Mongolian tent. You need to know about the Korean War and that it separated North and South Korea, and it started when North Korea invaded South Korea. You know what the Korean Workers' Party, or KWP, is. You need to know that the North and South Korea are separated on the 38th parallel by the Demilitarized Zone, or the DMZ. You didn't know what kind of government a dictatorship is. You didn't know about Kim Il-sung, his son Kim Jong-un, and his son Kim Il-sung, his son Kim Jong-il, and his son Kim Jong-un, who are different leaders of North Korea at different times, have a dynasty that is very brutal. You need to know that North Korea is one of the largest traders of weapons. You know that Seoul is the capital of South Korea, Seol, and Pyongyang is the capital of North Korea, Pyongyang. You need to know that the won is the form of money that they use in South Korea. You need to know that most people in Taiwan speak Mandarin. You need to know that Buddhism is the #1 religion of South Korea and Taiwan. You know what the areca nut is. You need to know that the Blue House is where the president of South Korea lives. You need to know who supported North Korea during the Korean War and who supported South Korea during the Korean War. And you need to know about Camp 14, which is a terrible prison where people can be sent to for the rest of their lives and their children's lives and their grandchildren's lives if they are considered to be enemies of the state. You need to be able to talk to me about the relationship between North and South Korea, and most importantly, the differences between North and South Korea. You need to talk to me about the Mongol Empire, the greatest leader, how they spread. By the way, everything up until now has been matching and multiple choice. The relationship between North and South Korea and the Mongol Empire and how they spread, those are our short answer. You have to tell me what it's like to live in North Korea. You have to tell me the difference between North and South Korea's government, and make sure you can talk about Kim Jong-un and his father and grandfather and how crazy they all were. Make sure you can talk to me about the situation between Taiwan and why their governments hate each other so much, and how Taiwan was founded. You need to be able to tell me about Confucianism, the fact that it's not really a religion but more a philosophy about how to live, about the Chinese government and how many unpopular decisions they have to make because of their big population, and some of the things that they have to do in China, that freedoms that they don't have. That's going to be a question. What about Chinese foot binding? We talked about that, where they break the feet and make them smaller. And if you study all of those things, you will have a great chance of doing well on the quiz next Tuesday.